This is Brandon Stone from RUVCH, and just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown video and talking about my pedal board. I know that a lot of people, not just on social media, personally, and other guitar players have asked me, can you tell me about your breakdown and what you have that you're running for Sunday mornings or for tracking music? And so with that, I just wanted to take a few minutes and I wanted to tell you about this Creation pedal board. This is an amazing company, and I would highly encourage you guys to check it out. If you saw the time lapse at the beginning of the video, you also saw that there was a 3D logo of our RUVCH logo on the front of the pedal board. And this is a Creation tour grade pedal board. It is amazing. Check them out. And then the one thing that I really want to tell you guys about was I've been using the Ernie Ball volume pedal for years. And I've been playing guitar for almost 10 years. But in that, I also just got this new Dunlop Mini, and I'm telling you, this thing is amazing. It's portable, obviously. It's perfect for any size pedal board. And so I just wanted to give them a shout out when it comes to all that. I have a 751 dual switcher, which I'll be talking about later in the video. And then this. Just adjusting it. You hear the verb in there, that's nice. Well, hi guys, my name is Brandon Stone, and I'm very excited to start this YouTube channel, and I'm going to be talking through my pedal board breakdown, as well as you guys are going to be seeing on screen how I set up my patches, and you will also be able to not just purchase them, but also purchase them from the creators who made the different amp IRs. I'm going to break down a little bit of my approach when it comes to a lot of this kind of stuff. And I hope you're here to just learn and also enjoy the ride. I know that for me, watching pedal board breakdowns and videos is so much fun. Now, the first thing I want to say is currently I don't have a MIDI switcher of any sort other than my 751-2 switcher right here. It's a dual switcher. You can go on and off between one preset to the other, one snapshot to the other. And so with that said, I'm going to break down my pedal board. I'm going to talk about everything going on under the hood, as well as all the various pedals, as well as my multi-effects units. So, quick backstory. I started playing guitar almost 10 years ago, and it's been a journey, but really over the last, I'd say 4 to 5 years, I've been getting really serious into gear, tones, and especially when it comes to the world of praise and worship, and then also creating a rock album, our RUVCH Souls and Bones album. I get questions a lot asking about the pedals I use, how that's connected, and also how I can go from, doing a worship sound all the way up to something that's rock, southern rock, etc. Actually be taking you guys through my pedal board process, my breakdown, and how I create patches. So all to say, I'm going to turn everything off, so all you're getting is the amp, and currently I'm running a Fender Pro Junior, and it's a great little amp. So I'm going to turn everything off here, and if you're watching, you can actually see all my presets and all the settings. Okay, cool. Turn the chorus off too. So currently this is the not Blues Junior, this is the Fender Junior. Now, I only have one amp in this video that's going on, but on Sunday mornings when I run what is supposed to be stereo or dual mono, because our setup is mono, so I run dual mono, I have everything kind of placed as a stereo output. And so in my in-ears, the Shure in-ears I'm actually hearing everything left to right. So I'm running 2 amps left to right and then 1 in the middle, which is, I think, something that makes my process a little bit different from others, and I know it can seem like overkill. But today I'm hoping that with my approach of having 3 different tones to really create that beauty of what you're trying to go after as you're chasing your tones and those types of things, I hope that that'll help you guys. And so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do a side comparison of just specifically the amp that's going on in the back, and then here in the Pod Go, and then we will add in the 2 amps left to right, and you'll be able to hear quite a significant difference. So here we go. So that is just the Fender Junior. I'm gonna bring in my Matchless Canyon sound from Worship Tutorials in the middle. So I have it just on the edge of breakup, and I really like the way that that sounds tonally, and it still has some treble in it, so that if I switch the pickups, humbucker, simple. You can hear a little bit of a difference. So with that said, I'm gonna now add in the Benson on one side, and I have a Fender Tweed on the other. So this is what it sounds like with the 3. So that's with no drive pedals on or anything. The only thing that I really have underneath my board, you can't see it, but I'm gonna break it down. I have a SP compressor, and I'm running everything at noon except for the volume. I have just cranked just slightly to like 6. If 5 is noon, it'd be 6. So I've got that, and then over here I'm running my solodallas, which is a really awesome AC/DC type pedal. But one thing that this does really well is you're able to hear more of those frequencies of the trebles, the mids, those kinds of things. And then I have the Greer lightspeed. So if I turn this off, no lightspeed. I'm going to turn the lightspeed on. I'm just getting a little bit of a volume boost, and it's actually keeping everything fairly clean. Also has some nice sustain. So all that to say, without any reverb, delay, anything like that, that is my clean signal. So from there, we go into the buffer off to the right, and so it goes buffer to the SP compressor up to this, which is a POG, which is kind of like your octave deal. Let me bring it in so you can really hear it, like the low end. That sounds really cool with a little bit of some reverb on it, and alright. Pog off. Okay. And then from there we run into the fuzz. So currently I just bought my first fuzz, and I have a Moon fuzz by Keeley Electronics, and I'm a massive fan of the Halo. I'll get to that delay pedal in stereo in just a little bit, but from the POG we go into the Moon fuzz, so check this out. Now there's not really a lot of volume, but check this out. If I bring it up just slightly, it's going to start distorting quite a bit. So as you can see, I'm bringing it back down to where it was so that you have a little bit of that grit. Moving on, from there we go into the solodallas, to the lightspeed, over to the special cranker from Earthquake Devices. This is a new one for me. Let me show you what it does. So I still have nothing on in terms of reverb, delay, etc. But let's go with the special cranker. So if I'm playing the key of D, special cranker on. It's just got a nice, sounds like the amp is starting to break up a little bit more, so it gets a little bit more grit, a little bit more drive on it, but it's not too hairy in the sense that it can destroy your tone. Moving on, I've had this OCD pedal on my board for probably 7 years, back when I had a little briefcase. And all I had was pretty much, even before the Pod Go, I used the Pod XT Live. So before using this and the HX Stomp, I was using that into the OCD. And so this is what it sounds like. Now you might be thinking to yourself, like, why is everything so quiet? Well, the simple of it is gain staging. And so when I reach, having 2, 3, maybe 1 overdrive, we'll do 2 overdrives. You'll notice that there's quite a volume difference. And so with that, all that being said, everything up to noon. You notice that everything at noon, it sounds pretty good. So when I gain stage everything, I try to bring the tones back a little bit so that I can actually stack it. The one that I love to run is the OCD into my distortion pedal, which is the Eris by Walrus Audio. If you guys haven't seen any of my Instagram videos, anything I've ever posted, it's my favorite pedal. I've been using it for probably over a year now, or at least a year since it came out, and it's one of my favorites, so check it out. It's got a 5150 PV kind of sound. So when I stack that with the OCD, sounds pretty good, not just on its own, but stacked. So moving on, the last thing in my chain before coming over here to using the Halo delay pedal in stereo, which I'll get to in just a second, I have the Julia by Walrus Audio. It is an amazing pedal. I use it as a chorus. Most people use it as vibrato. I've seen some other settings, but I just really really like the tone that I get out of using the Julia setup like this. So here's what it sounds like. Throw a little bit of reverb on. So sometimes it's not about having all of the pedals on, but how you can run them together to make them all work out. I find on Sunday mornings, there's some days where I have one chorus, maybe a delay, and just slight reverb, which is kind of the, you know, trifecta for worship, having everything washed out and all that kind of stuff. But I find for me that having a super washed out sound can actually destroy the moment. So I try to keep everything, you know, nice sounding and not so washed out. So that's just mine personally. So we'll get into a little bit of that later. Alrighty, the last thing I have here is my Halo by Keeley Electro-harmonix. Let me tell you about this pedal. So I'm gonna just kick this on and you're gonna hear what this does. And I'm telling you, this delay pedal is magical. So we're gonna start with just the clean tone. Like I said, I've got the Matchless Canyon in the middle from Worship Tutorials, and then left to right, on the left side I have the Benson 2.0 from Tone Factor, and then the ProSonic Fender amp, which is a Tweed. The ProSonic right there in on the right side. So here it is. I'm gonna kick on the Halo. Before I do this, there's no reverb whatsoever. What you're hearing is the modulation coming together like a marriage of sorts. And so you're gonna hear what that sounds like. So here we go. So again, here's it off. Here's it on. So the Halo is now off. I'm gonna put kind of a dotted eighth type of thing on. That was my attempt at YouTube. All right, let's go again, now with the Halo on. Also has just a shine on it. Almost sounds similar to like modulation on a chorus. Okay. I run a vintage digital delay inside the HX Stomp with the patch that I'm using, and I just really like the way that it complements with the Halo. So together you get this. And if I'm feeling real experimental, we're gonna throw the dual delay on as well in the Pod Go. Isn't that nice? All right, let's move on. So in terms of reverb, we're gonna have to probably do a whole nother video for another time just on reverb, delay, chorus, all that kind of stuff for the PodGo, HX Stomp, all those types of things. And then if you have your analog pedals as well, how that all kind of goes together. But I kind of want to finish this video and wrap up with some thoughts. If we're able to look at, so here, hold on one sec. I'm just gonna read off to you what I have. So I actually EQ my guitar specifically for my humbucker guitar. I'm using a Schecter Diamond Series PT Fastback Sunburst color. It's a beautiful guitar. I've been using it for a while now. And so what I have in the PodGo right after the amp in the cabinet is I have an EQ section, and what that actually does for me is it's, you know, eliminating some frequencies, bringing some up, and then also at the same time, it's also beefing up my tone. I'm gonna turn off the EQ so you can hear it. Ready? Even if I stack an overdrive with it, of course the special cranker makes everything sound good. Go with the OCD. Oh, I'm sorry, did it again. EQ on, special cranker. OCD. As you can hear, the OCD and the special cranker have a little bit more depth to it and oomph. So for my personal settings, I'm using the Kali Q Graphic EQ, which is based off, you know, like MXR. There's lots of brands out there of the graphic EQ, also based off the analog, you know, boards that had those kind of EQs and different things. So 80 hertz, 1.3 dBs. The 240 hertz, 1.9 dBs. I'm bringing the 750 hertz up to 2.1, the 2000 hertz up 2.1, the 6000 hertz, 1.6 dBs, and finally I'm bringing the level up just slightly with a 3 dB addition. So all let's say, currently I'm using my my PodGo for all that kind of stuff, but in theory, you know, you can run your EQ pedal before any of those other things or after your drives, however you want to do it. I've always heard it that you put your studio comps, EQs, those types of things after the amp, and especially studio compressors and things for your tone overall at the end of the chain. So I actually really like it in the front. That's why I run a compressor underneath as the very first thing after the buffer. So underneath the board, I have Voodoo Power Labs, and I have the 8-channel one that has 8 plugins, and then I have a couple of one spots so that I'm able to actually cover all this ground. But what I wanted to do to kind of finish off what we're doing here for this one is I wanted to show you what it looks like when you have overdrives, distortion, chorus, reverb, delay, all the wet effects, all the drives put together to create kind of this texture. And so let me demonstrate that for you right here. So I have delay and reverb on the PodGo. I'm now adding in the halo on the HX Stomp. And I forgot to mention, this is actually in the effects loop. So I am running the HX Stomp into the effects loop stereo. And so that's what you're getting there. So that's on, and then I'm going to turn on my reverb. This is kind of a bloom setting, and I love the way that Tone Factor did it. When I bought their patch, I thought it was amazing and thought they did a great job. And I also love the one that Worship Tutorials did. And so I'm actually using their dynamic hall. So I'm running those two reverbs. So if anyone's looking to find out how do I get the sound, where do I do it, just go buy their patches. It's worth every penny, and it's totally worth investing in. So delay and reverb in the Pod Go, delay and reverb together in the HX Stomp minus the vintage digital sounds like this. I'm gonna add the chorus in, my Julia. Huh? Alrighty, well now let's go on to the cloud setting on the reverb, and I've actually kicked on a chorus that I have on the HX Stomp. As you can see on the screen up there, basically all, because I'm not going to show you guys all the parameters, that'd be cheating. But I will say, if you purchase the Tone Factor patch as well as the Worship Tutorials, they do such a great job of creating these amazing sounds. And so I would say go out there and support them. I'm actually using most of their tones, most of their sounds, and I have no shame in saying that. I've been a supporter since day one and will continue to. So if you came to this video hoping to get the chorus settings and the glitz settings and all those things, this isn't the video. If anything, this is my challenge to you to actually invest in yourself and invest in other companies. So moving on, I have the chorus on, and let's just go, yeah. So let me turn the Julia off so you can just hear the chorus. I'm gonna turn the reverb off too, because I'd like you guys to be able to hear just that alone. Oh, I'm sorry. I have the reverb and the delay on in the Pod Go. Let me turn that off. Turn the halo on. Turn the Julia on. There's no reverb yet. You're just hearing that in the delay pedal. That sounds a little funky, so let's add a little bit of a dynamic hall. I'm gonna add the dual delay. Now let's add in that cloud reverb. So I'm going to turn the chorus off in the HX Stomp. Here it is. That's just the Julia with it. Alrighty. I'm gonna wrap things up here and the last thing I want to show you is, so this is just the bloom by itself for the reverb, and I have everything off. I just turned the Julia off as well, and the halo is off, so check this out. Sounds great on its own. I'm adding in the dynamic hall reverb in the Pod Go at the front. So together, that's a really nice texture. Now I'm gonna add the halo in. Now remember, this is a delay pedal, totally not a reverb pedal. Let me just play it for you again so you can hear how magical that halo delay is. Halo on. So my secret, when it comes to creating worship tones especially, or ambient tones in general, I usually have the dynamic hall at the front after the amp and all that. And then into the HX Stomp, I'm actually running the halo before anything else. So it's at the front of my chain. I'm not running the halo delay after or post amp, I'm running it before. And so what you're getting is you're getting the reverb of the beginning of the chain, so to speak, and then right after it being the delay pedal, and then post amp, clear at the end of the chain, I'm running that cloud reverb, and that's how you're getting that swell, almost really just beautiful sound. I use this on Sundays pretty much every week. This is my go-to sound. 2 reverbs, the halo delay, sometimes I'll kick on the other one, and always the Julia. So I'm gonna kick the Julia on, and here it is. If I really wanted to bring the drive back, I just use that on the light speed. But I do like to have a little bit of grit. So if we kick special crank or overdrive, I'll turn the Julia off. Now I will say you don't always need to have reverb, delay, chorus to have a good sound. I do think it can beef up your sound if you're going for, you know, heavier rock sounds or whatever. I tend to use a little bit of reverb here and there and switch them on if I'm going for something like that. Now my final snapshot here is my lead tone. And the lead tone has a lead reverb preset that I've made. So let me turn everything off, no halo, literally just the light speed, the solodallas, and the compressor like everything else. Sorry, let me turn these off, forgot the Pod Go. Okay, just the reverb. So with the lead tone, it's pretty basic. I have just a little bit of the decay inside the HX Stomp, all that kind of stuff. I'm actually not even hardly running a lot in the mix. It is up a little bit, but not as much as you would probably think. And so with that, this is just the reverb, like I said. So if I kick on the dynamic hall, it's really nice. Let me kick the halo on. Okay. Sounds pretty awesome. So when we begin to stack overdrives, gain, all that kind of stuff, it can easily muddy your tone. So what I always suggest is before you kick on chorus and delay and reverb and all that kind of stuff, make sure that you have your clean tone established, whatever that is. For me, it's 2 overdrives and a compressor that keeps everything really nice and clean and organic sounding, and then from there you go crazy. So for me on the lead tone, you know, here it is. And you could use that just for chords if you wanted to, but like, let's just say the special cranker. I'm gonna switch to the key of E. With the reverb, that sounds pretty nice. Without the overdrive, OCD. Go for the distortion. Now again, I don't have everything completely gained up, but if I brought the blend up on the Eris so it sounds more like that 5150 PV sound, I just lost the whole tone, so I gotta blend it back. Now we are going to move on to, with the lead tone, the fuzz. Fuzz is something that can either enhance your tone or it can absolutely destroy it and sound like mud. And so with the Keeley Moon Fuzz, like I said before, I have it just slightly on, but hear this. It's already starting to feed back. So how do we fix that? Well, currently I have 2 reverbs on. So I have the dynamic hall and I have the glitz on. I'm gonna turn off the dynamic hall. Now kick the moon fuzz on. You can already hear that that sounds a lot better. Now what would happen if we took fuzz and distortion and put them together? Well, the beauty of the Aris is that we can do that by blending everything together. So again, this may not be super loud per se, but when we stack it with the Keeley moon fuzz, this is what you get. Check it out. Moon fuzz. Let's say we wanted to add a little bit more gain and volume to that moon fuzz. So by itself, with the distortion, it sounds like trash, but we bring it back to where it was. So it's all to be taken with a grain of salt, but at the end of the day, you can use a little bit of reverb on your lead tones and things to actually beef it up or make it sound bigger. Also using an EQ. And so finally, what I want to say with all this is use the gear you already have. Now obviously I'm doing a pedal breakdown video, but there are a lot of things in this video that you can learn from just by understanding the simple principles of following gain staging, understanding how to use, my compressor is only at noon with the actual blend of it, so it's just barely being changed in the clean signal and not being too messed with, basically. But there's a little bit of a volume boost, so basically what you're getting is you're getting a clean boost that you're using and utilizing. So my bonus tip, and this is probably my favorite thing that I'm going to show you. It's a very simple thing, but if you have a fuzz pedal and you have some kind of an octavator, like here's a POG, so let me kick that on. I actually bring it down quite a bit so it's not so in your face. Doesn't sound almost like metallic. Now kick the fuzz on. I'm gonna bring that low end. Well, that was fun. Thanks for taking probably an hour or so to watch this video. Maybe it's less than that, I don't know. We were just having fun, but all that to say, stay tuned for some more videos, and as time goes on, I'll probably be uploading here and there But my goal with this is to really help you understand how things work in the modeler world and how that connects to actual analog pedals. And with people asking me about my rig and my breakdown, I wanted to take some time and really digest that with you. And I hope that, you know, you were able to listen to this as like a podcast, or, you know, as you're out throughout your day, and that you didn't just stare at the screen for literally an hour. But if you did, you're my favorite. And so I want to encourage you guys to just subscribe and like this video and click the bell icon so that you never miss a video coming up. And I hope to see you guys in another video. Love you. Hold on one sec. You might have to cut that last part because I want to do the little piece thing. All right. Love you guys. Thanks so much. And I'll see you guys in another video. All right. Talk to you later. Peace.